So overall, the citric acid cycle is 8 reactions long. So the first 4 reactions are going to be part 1, and the second 4 are going to be part 2, and you'll see kind of how the 2 parts have a little bit of a different function. Okay, so let's go a little more in depth. We need to zoom into these pictures a little bit. Reaction number 1 is we're going to take acetyl-CoA. So remember, that's what we get from pyruvate. There's a reaction with pyruvate. We release 1 CO2 and make acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA then combines with oxaloacetate. So it's a oxaloacetate over here. As you'll see, it's this molecule. It combines with acetyl-CoA. So this part here is going to attach to our oxaloacetate to make, so these 2 parts are the same. Okay, so we add on our acetyl group. So we use water to do this, and we release CoA itself. So it's the CoA SH. Let's remove that. So some of the part of the water goes into releasing acetyl-CoA. So that makes citrate, which is this molecule here. Reaction number 2 is an isomerization reaction. So isomerization to isocitrate, iso meaning an isomer of citrate, right? So that we have a tertiary OH group, so that the tertiary OH group in citrate is transferred into a secondary OH group that can be oxidized. So specifically, let's switch colors. This OH group here gets moved down a carbon to the OH there. Now it's a secondary carbon, so it can be oxidized, whereas a tertiary carbon can't be oxidized. So reaction 1 forms citrate. Reaction 2 is an isomerization to make isocitrate. Reaction number 3, we're going to do an oxidative decarboxylation, is what it's called. That's a lot of words. Oxidative, meaning we're oxidizing something. Decarboxylation. So carboxylate is this molecule here. We're just going to do lots of fun colors today. This group here is called a carboxylate. If you remember, our 8 carboxylic acids turn into carboxylates. So this carboxylate group here is going to be what's removed in this reaction. A decarboxylation means we're getting rid of it, and we're doing an oxidation in the process. So this one's a little bit fancy. So this carboxylate then turns into this CO2. It leaves the system. This, do orange, why not? This bond here, carbon OH bond, this alcohol, the one we just moved over, is now going to be oxidized. We're going to add a double bond. So now we have a double bond where that single bond was to the oxygen. And then because we are doing an oxidation, we need a coenzyme to accept those extra hydrogens, because remember, in this process, we lose, let's do a different color. We lose 2 hydrogens. So those hydrogens are what goes to NADH plus. So in this process, we actually are going to form 3 ATP molecules. So that is a secondary process. In order to convert NADH back to NAD plus, it releases 3 ATPs. Okay, so in this process, we get alpha ketoglutarate as the product. Okay, so it was a lot to keep track of, but let's keep on going. We have reaction number 4 is a second oxidative decarboxylation. So we have a second time that we're going to do this. So let's do another new color, because why not? So now we have this carboxylate that is on here that is ready to be removed. So what's going to happen is a CoA enzyme or coenzyme, all the colors. Let's not do blue. How about this color? This CoA enzyme with the free SH, free thiol, is going to be attached. And then remember, we're going to need to lose CO2 in this process. It's a decarboxylation reaction, a second oxidative decarboxylation. So we lose CO2. So this purple CO2 over here, purple CO2 over here is going to be lost as carbon dioxide. And where that bond was, remember here we have this bond. We can't just have nothing there, right? The the CoA enzyme is going to attach there, replacing that bond. In this process, again, we're going to use NADH in order to accept the hydrogens that we're going to lose. And again, that makes 3 ATP in the process of refreshing that coenzyme. So this bond here, let's draw it. This bond here is formed, and now we have what's called succinyl CoA. Okay, so that is the first 4 steps. So overall, these 4 steps on the first part of the citric acid cycle, this is how we're removing carbons. We're losing CO2. So overall, this first process is just getting ready and losing CO2, producing overall 6 ATP in the process of losing CO2.